We'll start opening statement. We'll start here, then go over there.
Credit to Boise State. They got an excellent team, particularly an excellent defense, and I thought they gave us fits all day with moving the ball consistently, and still despite some things, we got it into the fourth quarter with it being a one possession game, but we could not finish, and they finished very strong in the last quarter. Proud of our team. We didn't quit. I was happy we went down and got a score there at the end, but we got to keep getting better. Again, we lost the turnover battle 3-0, which makes it. I would have told you we would have lost the game if I knew we would have lost the turnover margin that way. We got to continue to do better with the rushing battle, and I thought defense did some decent things. I mean, they ran it for about 3 yards a carry, which is pretty good by us. I think their average yards per play was less than 5 yards a play, so I thought our defense took a step forward, but I think our offense kind of learned today. That's what maybe the top defense in our conference looks like, and we got to get a lot better to compete with them. Defense can get better on conversion downs. I thought that was the other factor with them being on the field so much. Besides the offense struggling, is we got to get off the field better. We did okay on third downs. They were 7 of 18, and then they were 6 of 7 on fourth down. So they stayed on the field that way.
Said you guys want to address it this week. What are the issues you've seen with kind of the slow starts offensively? And what did you see tonight?
Yeah, I think we got to do a better job of getting the plays in sooner the first play of the game. We're late, we take a delay a game. I think we probably had a better look for that play the first time than on 1st and 15. We had to clean up our ball security there. I thought our defense did a nice job of coming in and holding the 3 there. That was big to not give up a touchdown when they had the ball at the whatever it was, about 18-yard line. That was a heck of a job by the defense there. I think that to me, the first play tonight was we got to do a better job of getting in and out of the huddle to start a series. We got to handle the crowd noise and be ready to go, the first play more than anything.
What was kind of your view of the Bankston return, TD? How'd you see that play out?
Really well executed. I think we were a little bit more aggressive on the first kickoffs. We had him a little bit up closer to the goal line, and Coach DePrado said we were blocking it pretty well. So he asked, what do you think about moving him back a little bit? And I said, yeah, let's go for it. We need a little spark. And so we moved him back, and we blocked it up well, and he had a heck of a return. He had another one that was a pretty good return that we ended up having a penalty on. So I got to see the tape on that. But, Damon continues to give us big plays. He had 2 huge plays in the passing game that were explosives. It was like about a 36 and a 16-yard gain or something on those wheel routes to the backfield. So Damon continues to play well. Obviously,
it's a good defense you're going up against, but what are kind of the issues in the run game that you're seeing right now?
We struggled to move number 5. I think we got to keep looking at it. Are we attacking the right guys? I thought we ran a lot at number 5, and I thought he was their best defensive end. So I think that's something. We got to even out. I think we had some calls on the call sheet that could have attacked the other guy. We got to get to those more. They got us a few times with blitzes that we got to do a better job of handling up front in the O-line. But I think we got to get just a little better technique, better strain to get a little bit more movement to get through. There's a few times, we were really close to getting through, and we just got to get strain a little bit more to get the hole a little bigger to get it through. But I credit them. I thought they did a good job, and I thought watching their film last week, their defense, hung in there a lot better with Notre Dame than their offense hung in with Notre Dame, and they had some good players. Number 5 is really a good player. Their linebackers did a good job. 90 is a good player. Their safeties are very good run stoppers. I thought we had a few in the second half, but like in the first half, we were really struggling to win against man coverage on the outside. We had some times where we had, opportunities for plays. We had Keegan made a few in the second half, but I thought they did a good job in man coverage with not letting us win some one-on-one battles that we needed to.
You mentioned earlier on Tuesday, kind of wanting to see just more physicality in general. Do you see a level of physicality that you kind of like tonight? Or offensively, did you see a level of physicality that kind of helped in the run game or hindered in the run game?
I really liked some of the physicality I saw from the defense. I got to study the offense before I make a real generalization, but my inclination is that, I think we need to play more physical on offense in the run game, but I do want to watch the tape to just make certain of that. But I think our defense I thought especially in the first half did physical. I think we had 4 sacks in the first half. The second half, obviously they changed their game plan a little bit more and ran it a little bit more.
Obviously, Richard goes down the second half. He doesn't play, start in the second quarter, doesn't play in the second half and all that. How much did that affect you guys tonight, bringing in Jamar like that?
I think those guys stepped in and did okay. I don't think it had Rich is a good player and a good leader. I think we probably missed that. But, the other guys are rotating in anyway throughout the night. So hopefully it's not too serious. We'll find out once we get X-rays or MRIs and coming times.
What was your read on Jack's performance tonight?
We got to protect the ball better. It's one thing to take a sack on the first play of the game, but we got to have we got to secure the football there. I thought some of the interceptions he made might have forced it a little bit. I think it's tough when you're struggling offensively. Sometimes you have that inclination to try to make something happen. Certainly I don't think it was one of his best performances, but I think we got to help him around as well. There's some times where we had one-on-ones. He's making the right decision, but we got to come down with the play.
You mentioned Tuesday that this is kind of like a measuring stick for you guys right now and all that, going up against a G5 standard, a G5 power, and all that. What did tonight kind of tell you about your team, just off the dome? We
got to get a lot better to be an upper echelon Mountain West Conference team. We faced the first, the team that predicted to finish first, the team that predicted to finish third on the road, and obviously right now we're not good enough to beat those teams. So we got to keep getting better, and I don't want to get discouraged. We're halfway through the season. Sorry about that, guys. We got to keep getting better, but again, some more feedback. We got to keep getting better to take on a team like Boise State again. I think they're well coached. They have a outstanding environment here. I thought the crowd made a difference in the game. We had some problems with communications and things. Some of that stuff we got to coach better too, though. Like I don't, we took a delay game on a 3rd and 3 where we're trying to check a play, which I think we got to put our players in a better situation. That's not the time to check on 3rd down because that's when it was the loudest.
Offensively, I don't know the exact stats in front of me. I think it was like 3 carries for 8 yards for Scott Trey and all that. What's kind of going on with the running back, the carries distribution at this point? Yeah,
we think Damon has played the best lately, and again, Damon probably between the kickoff return and that, we just think we're playing him the most. You look at that. Besides, DJ and Scott Trey had even carries. They each had 3. DJ had 3 for 15, and Scott Trey had 3 for 8. So. Damon is kind of getting the most right now because he's been the most productive, and then DJ, Scott Trey are sharing stuff. I think Day is kind of our 4th. I think he ended up getting 1 on a tempo play where he was in. We're trying to use him in the passing game some because I think he's doing the best job in protection of all the backs.
You touched on it too. Obviously Jack was seeing a good deal of pressure tonight and all that as well too. Did you feel that some of the communication issues, the protection issues were more kind of communication based or more Boise State based?
Probably, some their personnel, some, I think their crowd makes a difference. That's a great crowd, and they impact the game certainly. But I probably have to see the film to make really good judgments on the exact percentage. I think they both had an impact in the game, but to try to quantify which was more valuable, I don't know if I have that information yet.
There was a weird touchdown. It looked like mishandled the snap. It wasn't a fake field goal, and then they throw it for the touchdown. What was kind of your read there? And what did the defense need to do there?
We got to stay with our guys. We have a guy assigned to that, and then he sees the guy start to scramble, and the guy who's covering him, grabbed him initially, takes his hands off the guy to go try to tackle the guy out there, and he's got to just trust to do his job. And we got to coach that situation better because that's kind of a rare play. It's a low snap. He drops it. The kicker comes up to the ball. We got to rep, a few more fire calls of just staying in coverage and who's got to tackle it because that, it was a 10-point game at that point. That's you hold them to no points there and get that down. Go down and score. You might get to 3. So that was kind of a backbreaker. And credit to my man. I don't even know who their holder is.
Oscar.
Yeah,
something like that.
Oscar O'Doyle. The credit to the Irishman for a nice pass and Grizzle with the touchdown catch. So kind of frustrated when you have guys you didn't even kind of know their names that hit you for a play. But good job by those guys.
Coach, this team, the whole program best. What how can you let the people know how your team will respond this week?
I think we'll respond the right way. I think we're excited to go at home. I mean, I think that was kind of a little bit of a tough. It's always tough to start the conference season with 2 games on the road to start. So, I know we're not going to have another sellout again, but please come and support us. I think you're going to see a team that's going to work their tails off this week. Be excited to be back at home. We have the glass half full is now we have 6 games left, and we have 4 of those games at home. So if we can do a great job defending our home field down the stretch, that can put us in a really good position. So we'll respond the right way. Again, I don't think there was any quit tonight. I thought we continued to battle to the end, and proud of the guys for that. And just got to keep getting better as a program.
Anybody on the Zoom got anything?
Yeah, Coach. Just from your perspective, what was the turning point in this game, and kind of the deficiencies you saw in your team after that, and where you need to improve?
Yeah, I obviously it hurt getting down, early and giving them a 10-0 lead. So I mean that was a big factor. We certainly did not want to play from behind against these guys. We get it to 17-14 at half. I thought that series was a little tough because we get off the field on a 3rd down and we have a defensive holding call when he scrambles. So that was kind of a self-inflicted thing. And again, I think we were more handsy than we needed to be. We kind of held the guy. I don't think it had a huge impact on the play, but we were more handsy than we needed to be. So they go score. We trade field goals to start the 3rd quarter. And then, I think their series to go up to get it back to 10. They had a 9-play, 75-yard drive. I thought that put them in a really, good position going forward. So I think that series getting down 10 made it tough. And then I can't remember exactly what happened on our offensive series. We got to stop, and then they hit the field goal touchdown on us. So and then it was really tough at that point when we got down by 17, getting down by 3 scores.
I gotcha.
It's only like 1 game, but it's another turnover. Another game with back. 3 turnovers for Jack and all that too. Do you look at the quarterback situation? Do you maybe evaluate getting James in some more? How are you going to kind of treat the situation now?
No,
or Jack the guy.
No, Jack's the guy. We got to keep. I think we can keep using James. We had some stuff today. We didn't really get to it that we had him in the way of doing it. And again, I thought James did a good job on his drive. But Jack's our guy. We got to keep getting better with protecting the football. Again, I think. The turnovers we've had, again, have been against, we had 3 turnovers against Michigan, who's, outstanding, 3 turnovers against Boise, 3 turnovers against San Jose. So we got to get better with it, but I think there also is a element of, the teams we're playing against are good, and that they've, forced some of those turnovers. And we got to keep getting better at forcing turnovers on our end, because that, we're not setting up any short fields for the offense through that. So.
All right, let's switch it up.
The weird, I know I don't think you ran on it, but as a defense, right, you're kind of seeing that play where they have the weird mishandled field goal that goes for a touchdown. Mm-hmm. What's kind of the mood for you on the defense at that point?
Man, that was my job. So,
that was your assignment?
That was my assignment, actually. So that's completely my fault, that field goal. I wouldn't blame it on any of my guys besides myself. It was a call that we had, and I'm supposed to just stay on no matter what the circumstance is, and I got a little distracted, and I started looking in the backfield. So, yeah, that was completely on me, but, we're going to clean it up next week and just move on.
I think they ran like 86 total plays tonight, a ton of plays, and I'm sure you're kind of feeling it right now too and all that as well. What can you kind of tell us about how the defense performed when you guys did have to see the field that much in those spots?
Hey, man, we don't stop. It's nonstop. We're going to take it play by play, no matter if it's 50, if it's 90. Me and my guys got a motor, man, and so we're gonna keep always doing our thing and just keep stacking days and keep stacking plays, man.
Where did you feel that they kind of hurt you guys the most? Where there were kind of concerning points for the defense tonight?
Maybe a little bit too much time in play action. Sometimes we got lazy with the run, which was a problem. We let them break free. We did do decent on the rushing, but there's just some things we got to clean up all around, so I can't blame or, say one particular thing, but, just keep playing consistent.
You guys are, I believe, down 3 at the half, 17-14, all that. What was kind of the message to the team at that point?
Don't stop. Keep your will moving, man. That's really it. That's all we had. Just keep working. That was really it.
Jackson said after the San Jose State game that it was kind of weird in some ways. It wasn't like, oh, we're getting throttled. It's like, no, we're just we're kind of one play away from making it happen and all that. Did you have a similar kind of feeling tonight?
Yeah, I do. We're always one play away, one drive or something. There's always something going on, but we can't continue to say that. So at one point in time, we got to put the pedal down and just keep driving, man, and just keep working for those one plays or that one series away. So yeah.
And as one of the leaders on the team, how do you get your team refocused for another Mountain West matchup?
Just personal motivation, man. Making sure everyone's heads are up, even if someone makes a bad play, keeping their head up, making sure they stay positive. That's really important. I feel like a lot of people, when they mess something up, they get in their head a lot. So it's always good for them to hear from someone else. Keep going. We got to keep going. We got to keep this up. And just making sure they're in the right mind space because it's all mental. So
Yards of all-purpose. I have to add it up.
Just kind of walk us through that the kick return TD. What you kind of saw there and how that all played out for you guys, for you in particular, I should say.
All week, we've been. But really, it's long overdue. I should have had one way earlier in the season, but since then we just been prepping it and just having it ready. And when the opportunity came, I caught it and literally just hit like you do in practice.
You had some
188.
188 all purpose.
188
188 all purpose. I mean, you had some big plays in the passing game too, and all that, and some nice runs as well. But kind of for the second game, kind of third game in a row, there's some issues in the run game fully kind of getting going and the way it had in the past. And of course, there was a point where you guys had to throw it a little bit more and all that because of the score. What did you kind of see tonight from the run game and how that all played out?
I mean, definitely, the way to sum it up, we just got to get better in the run game. You just got to move the line of scrimmage. We got to do a better job of hitting the hole when it's there, which I think we actually did. But I mean, just overall, the run game just has to get better. I have to watch the film and just see. But based off what I felt when I was playing, I just feel like we got to get more push on line of scrimmage. We got to get on the same page with the O-line because, yeah.
Does it feel that disjointed, like you're just not on does it feel like you're not on the same page, or what's happening?
I mean that could be a possibility. I was talking to one on lineman and we said we just got to start meeting together probably because we don't even meet together. Mm-hmm. So it's we probably have to start doing joint meetings or something just to get on the same page and just to see where specific calls or where they're going and how they're blocking it, just so we can hit it better or just to get a better understanding between the both of us. You know what I'm saying?
I know you guys switched to practice a little bit. It's kind of address the slow starts and all that as well. But you guys went down 10-0 relatively early and all that as well too. What did you see out of this slow start in particular?
Yeah, just us being us. Lobos being Lobos. We preached that all week. We can't beat ourselves, but we did it. So and then Boise State just capitalized. They're a good team. Credit to them. So we can't beat ourselves at going against a team like that.
Coach Eck kind of referred to this game as a measuring stick to a certain degree to kind of find out the program's at. Obviously, Boise's been really good for a long time and all that at this level and all that. What did you kind of take from the team tonight as a whole, and in terms of measuring against a program like Boise?
Well, from the whole, I know that we could compete with any team in the Mountain West. Like I said, I feel like this one slipped on the scores. I feel like the score is
misleading.
Yeah. I feel like this one just barely slipped under our fingers. This was a slow start. I feel like we started a little faster, less turnover. We there, but it's just we just got to put it together and just play a complete game, or we just don't have the turnovers and the penalties that shoot us in the foot.
There was a really weird touchdown. They mishandled the snap on that kind of that field goal, and then ended up throwing it for a touchdown and all that as well. I mean, what's kind of going through your head when you see a play like that?
That's just the pride hurter right there. It's just, like I said, they're a good football team. Them type plays that good football teams make. So, I got to give them credit because that's what's exciting play. Actually, the kicker who threw that, he was on my team last year.
No way.
He was at
Doyle was?
Yeah, Doyle. Yeah. So I was happy to see him throw a little touchdown at the end of the game when I was talking to him, but in the moment it was man, it was just a good play.
Last week we had we had talked to Keegan after the game, and Keegan in particular, he said he was adamant. He was we as an offense need to help Jack out and all that as well too. When you see a performance like Jack, I mean, is that kind of the same feeling for you tonight, and how are you just kind of looking at that?
Yeah, just I know I don't think the running backs gave up a sack, but just in general, like a pass pro has to be better. He has to feel more comfortable in the pocket to make them throws. So I feel like if he's throwing picks, that's really on us that he doesn't feel comfortable like making his reads. I see like he's rushing some of the reads and stuff, but I mean, you just got to make the plays when it's there, pretty much. So.
And you're obviously the slow start. You guys were down 10, but then it felt like in the span of like 2 seconds, it was all of a sudden 14-10, and the crowd kind of felt dumbfounded. They're like, "We're down now." I mean, what does that say about the potential of this team when you guys really get it going?
Yeah, like I said, we know we can compete with any team. Like the potential of this team is really through the roof. Like we look at the remaining games on our schedule. It's like we don't see nobody who we just know we're gonna like go in and it's gonna be like we don't see nobody on our schedule where we just go in thinking we're gonna lose. You know what I'm saying? Like we know we can compete with every team on our schedule. We know we can beat every team on our schedule. It's just the fact that if we gonna put a game together to do it.